Right. Good morning, everyone. Today we are into the fourth session of the sixth competency. At this moment, we have done three questions in the theory class, right? And today you are going to answer the first question, right? Personally, in the paper class as well. Anyway, I will explain the answer. And before you go through the recording, it is better to answer that paper as well personally, and you can compare it with my answers. Putha, the next thing is, Petio, the next thing is something very important. I have sent you a take-home assignment. And that is also based on financial statements of a sole proprietorship. Okay, therefore, when you attend the next session, please make sure that you answer the take-home assignment on sole proprietorship according to the format which I have given you. Right? But sometimes you might wonder why I am teaching such a format. I know that because I'm quite sure that it is not going to be taught in anywhere else. Putha, I told you, I am training yourselves to face, right, advanced level examination. Okay. And in the class, as you all can remember, I presented the commonly accepted formats for financial statements. And don't ever think that format is just for the PLCs. No, it can be followed by any business organization, including sole proprietorship. So as we learn the sole proprietorship, let's get familiar with the standard formats. That is the most requirement point. As we study about the financial statements of sole proprietorship, let's get familiar with the right standard formats of financial statements. Okay. So in this question, I have included, right, a trial balance, and the trial balance is agreed at 10,500. Okay, 10,500. And then I have included 9 adjustments. The requirements are product, those who have the hard copies, please make that, this should be Putha, 31st March 2026, right? Make the corrections, please. It is 31st March 2026. They are the hard copies. Sorry, the other adjustments. Okay. So along with this, let me share the format which I have just prepared for the discussion. Okay. As you can see, this is the statement of profit or loss, right? It's very simple, summarized and straightforward, right? And then the statement of changes in equity. Okay, Putha. Then on this side, I have given you the format of the statement of financial position. It is also a summarized format. And later I have developed, right, the workings, items of PP&E and the calculation of the cost of sales. Are we clear? පුතේ මෙන්න මෙහෙමයි අපේ formats ටික පුතාලට මම එක screen එකක පෙන්නොත් පේන්නේ. So listen to me, children. It is better. Now this is my recommendation. Puta, if it is uncomfortable, you can follow whatever the method you like, right? You can prepare both, I mean all these statements on a single page. Okay, single page. And leave the use the next page for the workings and the notes. Right? And make a page that is to record the double entries, adjusting entries for the adjustments. Okay, so that is what I will be explaining today in the class. Today, let's move to the first additional information. Trial balance of let's go through trial balance, please. Trial balance ke product kya balanna? Trial balance ke product kiwalemu. The trial balance of Sunam the Traders as at 31st of March 2026 is given below. So these are the items I have given: sales, received commissions, opening capital, bank loan, accumulated depreciation, creditors, stock opening, purchases, loss on damaged inventory, administration salaries, office rent, electricity, interest on bank loan, insurance, office equipment, furniture and motor vehicles at their opening balances, debtors and cash. Putha, I'm always highlighting this because I told you I am not just teaching you the sole proprietorships here, but I will give the complete understanding. Putha, do you see this trial balance is prepared as at 31st March 2026? And those who have the hard copies, highlight that date. Now that indicates this trial balance has been prepared after recording the transactions in the prime entry books, after preparing the ledger accounts in the general ledger, and those ledger accounts are balanced, and to check the arithmetical accuracy, they have prepared the trial balance. Okay, now that means this trial balance includes closing balances of the ledger accounts because trial balance is prepared at the end of the period. Therefore, Pute, all the balances in this trial balance are closing balances unless or otherwise they are specifically mentioned as opening. Now, this is opening capital. This is the opening balance of accumulated depreciation. This is the opening stock. And this is the assets opening balances, office equipment balance brought forward, furniture, and motor vehicles BBF. Got it? Except those, all other balances are a closing balance of that particular account. Remember that always. Okay, I'm telling anything, something in the class because it has kind of a value. Right. Let's move to the first additional information. It says, cost and the net realizable value of the stock as at 31st March 2026 were 500,000 and 430,000 respectively. I think we came across this adjustment last week as well. Accordingly, cost is 500,000 and net realizable value is rupees 430. Okay, I think you have understood it. Puta, let me take you to the Excel sheet. Puta, if we have prepared the formats, if not, you can do it later also. Puta, I am using another full page for the purpose of adjustments. For the purpose of adjustments. Now, this is how I record the first additional information or adjustment number 1. That is adjustment number 1. Right? Pute, I have a question. What is the normal double entry to record the closing stock? Anyone in the class? I think I explained this. Pute, what is the regular double entry to record the closing stock? Stock account debit. Okay. Stock account debit. Then cost of sales credit. Okay, this is the double entry to record the closing stock. Pute, listen to me. The idea of this particular double entry is this. The unsold inventory is recognized as an asset at the end of the period. That is why we debit this to the stock account. This is assets. And it is reduced from the cost of sales, credit to the cost of sales, because this represents the cost of unsold inventory. Therefore, the cost of unsold inventory should not be a part of the cost of sales. So, before the cost of sales is obtained, do you see, I think you know this, cost of sales is an expense. By crediting that expense, we reduce that particular expense. Are we clear? That is why we credit the cost of sales. Now listen to this assessment very carefully. Puta, forget about the given NRV. According to the historical cost concept. Now I'm using the concepts, as you know that. According to the historical cost concept, Puta, this is how we record the closing stock. Cost of the stock is 500 and the same is credited to the cost of sales. This is the regular double entry. This is how you recognize the cost of the stock. Stock debit 500, cost of sales credit 500. But they say something else. Adjustment says, although the cost is 500,000, NRV is net realizable value is Puta 430. Puta, let me share a whiteboard. Whiteboard එක පොඩ්ඩක් ගමු බලන්න පොඩ්ඩක් කොහොම ඉන්න. Okay. right. පුතා, I have just opened a whiteboard. හරි, චුට්ටක් අහගන්න. මම මේක open එක චුට්ටක් අහගන්න පුතේ. පුතා, now I'm going to explain a concept. Okay. The name of that concept is පුතේ prudence concept. හරිද? Because this particular concept is closely applied, right? Closely applied to what I'm going to teach you right now. Okay. Puta, look at this. First, let me explain, right, the meaning of the prudence concept. Make what a balagan. Harida, prudence concept. Puta, the prudence concept says, right, do not. Prudence concept says, right, the meaning of the prudence concept is this, right? Do not overestimate assets and income. Okay, do not overestimate assets and income. And but do not underestimate liabilities and expenses. This is exactly the meaning of the prudence concept. මේ තමයි මේ prudence concept එකේ idea එක. Since, listen to me, as assets, as the stock is an asset. හරිද? අපි මේ කතා කරන stock එක asset එකක් නේ පුතේ. හරිද? මේ asset එකක්. හරිද? එතකොට right, it's an asset. It's an asset, so you can't overestimate it. Assets cannot be overestimated. දැන් බලන්න මම කරන දේ. මෙතන මට කියනවා මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක්. පොඩක් අහගන්න. හරිද? It says cost is පුතා rupees 500,000 and NRV is given at 430,000. හරිද? ඔයාලට පේනවද පැටියෝ? ඔයාලට හොඳට පේනවද මම මේ කියන දේ? right? When you come, NRV is what? මම එකක් පොඩි කියලා දෙන්නම්. NRV කියන්නේ වෙන මොකුත් නෙමෙයි පුතා. මම නිකන් roughly මේක නෙමෙයි හරිම description එක. But listen to me. NRV is, okay, NRV can be recognized as estimated selling price. But that's another calculation to be done. But for the moment, listen to me. NRV is kind of an estimated selling price. Now, try to understand. Cost is 500, NRV is 430. If I ask this, what is the most suitable figure to recognize the stock? It is NRV. What is NRV? Look what I'm going to do is, right, mama close karnawa. Okay, mama dang share karganne yanne meka. Harida. Right. I will share the Excel sheet once again. Okay. Look at this. Stock is 500. I told you this is an asset. This is an asset. Therefore, since asset can't be overstated, I have to recognize a theory called LCA. And the name of that theory is LCM. Now, LCM stands for, in recognizing the inventory as an asset, I have to use the lower of cost or market. And the theory of LCM is applied when the inventory is recognized as an asset. Accordingly, I have to replace 500. Mokada cost is 500, NRV is 430. I have to use the lower value here, 430. Right? This is the theory of LCM is an application of the prudence concept. The theory of LCM is an application of the prudence concept. Prudence concept says, do not overestimate your assets. Although the cost is 500, if I can sell this just for 430, I can't recognize the stock at 500. If I do it, I have violated the prudence concept. Understood? And the next thing, here in the cost of sales, you have to always record the cost. The theory of LCM is applied only to the debit entry. And to the cost of sales, you always record the cost of the closing stock, which is 500. Now, do you see debit doesn't equal to the credit? And there is a difference of 70,000. Mama 70 but listen to me. You can easily understand this. To purchase this inventory, we have used 500 rupees. Let's say this is the cost. And if I can sell this just 430, what we have? We have an expense. An expense. In fact, we have a loss. And that loss is termed as stock writing off. Okay. Stock writing off debit. Stock writing off debit 70. And you know something? This is recognized as an expense. Now, this is the adjusting entry required for the first additional information. Now, let's carefully record it. I'm starting off with this one. Highlight this 430 is reported here in the SOFP. This is Sunanda Traders. This is also Sunanda Traders. Right? And changes in equity statement also Sunanda Traders. Sunanda Traders. Now look what I'm going to do. I record this one. Stock account 430. I record this as an asset. In fact, a current asset in the SOF. Under the current assets, right? Under the current assets, I record stock 430. Stock 430 under the current assets, right? Then I move to the next one. Stock writing off of 70. Look what I'm going to do for that. I record this 70 in this expenses table. The category is puta other expenses. Stock writing off other expenses 70. Finally, cost of sales credit 500. I record this or I use this. I use this before calculating the cost of sales. Cost of sales working. I move to the cost of sales working, which is over here. And do you see there's another one? Cost of the closing stock, and where I use minus 500. That means before the cost of sales is obtained, right? This cost of the closing stock is subject to reduction. Are we clear? So, right? Stock in here, stock writing off as an other expense, cost of the closing stock in the working of cost of sales. Right. Let's move to the second additional information. Let me share the second additional information. Right. Look at this. Look at this. Monthly salary of the business is 30,000, and the business has paid a salary advance to an employee during March 2026. Let's work it out and see what would be the relevant salary expense of the period. Make a working page. It's very simple. Workings relevant salary will be 30,000 multiplied by 12 months. How much is it? 360. Now, this is the relevant salary. This is the relevant salary. At the same time, putala, refer the trial balance. And do you see in this trial balance, we have paid 380 in the form of administration salaries. We have paid 380 in the form of administration salaries. Give me a minute. Right, in the form of administration salaries. Now, how much is the relevant expense? 360. What is the adjustment we need here? The adjustment is called as prepaid salaries. Look what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do this. This is the relevant salary. So we have already paid 380. Now, do you see we have a prepayment? Prepayment of worth 20,000. Now, this is the adjustment we have to make, prepaid salary. Look at the adjusting entry. This is adjustment number 2. Adjustment number 2. This is the adjusting entry, okay? Prepaid salaries debit 20,000 and credit the salaries account 20. This is the arithmetic calculation. Metama adjustment requirement. The relevant amount is 360. We have paid 380. So we have to adjust 20 as the prepaid salaries. Haridalamai. Puta. Let's record this entry. Debit entry. I record the debit entry. Prepaid salaries. It's an asset. I record the prepaid salary 20,000 as a current asset. Prepaid salaries 20,000. Okay, sorry. Prepaid salaries 20,000. Remember, this is the debit entry. Harida, then ilang point hondo umanayam balan. I have credited the salaries account. Let me show you once again. I want api hame vidiri gana ganna bar lazy what වැඩි. හරිද පුතා? මේ බලන්න. This administration salary is in the debit column නේ. මේ මම හරියද කියන්නේ? මේ admin salary එක තියෙන්නේ debit column පැත්තේ 380. And this 380 represents salaries paid by the business during the period. හරිද? දැන් මෙන්න මේක මෙහෙම ඉගෙන ගන්න පුතා මාරම ලේසි. What we have done to the salaries, it is credited. That means, okay, let me tell you. We have a balance of 380 in the trial balance. Credited means we have reduced 20. Then what is the relevant amount? 360. Now, this is what we recognized as the relevant expense. Relevant expense kila api salakane de. Okay, so by crediting the salaries account by 20, we change the salaries account expense account of the period as 360. I record salaries in this expenses table, but the value is puta 360 administration. Puta mangai parak kinwa. Mama me padama ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මතකද මම පටන් ගත්ත විදිහ. මම මේ පාඩම ලොකු weight එකක් දාලා උගන්වන පාඩමක්. I'm doing it with a very important and a valid reason. හරිද? Sometimes you not know all this, but I think even though you know this, listen to these explanations. Okay, good. Let's move to the next one, additional information number 3. Third one says, commissions received in the trial balance has recorded after offsetting a commissions paid valued 150,000. ළමයි හරිද? අපි දැන් ඕකට කලින් මම ආපහු පාරක් white board එකට පොඩ්ඩක් යනවා. I'm going to share a white board, right? Right. හරිද? පුතා බලාගන්න මම මේ දානවා sentence එකක්. හරිද? Please මෙන්න මේ sentence එක බොහොම කල්පනාවෙන් බලන්න. හරිද පුතේ? Right. Look at this. I'm going to write down a very important sentence. මෙන්න මේක sentence එකට බලා ගන්න. මේක තමයි යන්නේ. මේක ලියාගෙන රතු පෑන්න. Expenses cannot be offset against the income. Expenses cannot be offset against income, right? Unless or otherwise, it is permitted through a standard. Okay, it is permitted through a standard. මම පොඩ්ඩක් ලොකු කරලා දෙන්නම් මේක. නොකලියාගන්න. Expenses cannot be offset against income unless or otherwise it is permitted through a standard. ඔක රතු පෑනෙන් කොහරි පේන තැනක ලියාගන්න. හරිද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ මතකද මම මේකට සමාන තව එකක් කියලා දුන්නා. මේකත් අපි ආයි පාරක් ලියමු. That is liabilities cannot be offset against assets unless or otherwise permitted through a standard. ඔය දෙකම එක වගේ යන දෙයක්. මතක තියාගන්න පුතා මේවා A level paper එකේ ලස්සන්ට දාන්න පුළුවන් දැන්. හරිද? Now these are very powerful statements when it comes to the financial statements, because most of the time the students think, okay, I can compensate, I can offset allowed discount from received discount. Or I can compensate received commissions, commissions paid from commissions received, which are impossible. You can't do that. And on the other hand, you can't set off liabilities against assets. Eva karandat be. Are we clear? Right. Haripute. Have you written this? Right. Now I'm going to share the screen once again. First, let's read the adjustment once again. Adjustment. It says, commissions received in the trial balance has recorded after offsetting a commissions paid valued 150,000. Now, when you look at this trial balance, you will see that, okay, there is no commissions paid. Commissions paid, what we have is commissions received. And the point is, why we don't have commissions paid? Don't we have that account actually? No, that account is there in the ledger. But when you record that in the trial balance, we have done a mistake. What is it? We have offset that 150 against the received commissions. Therefore, although it is not there in the trial balance, that account is there. We have an account balance called commissions paid worth 150. We have to recognize it. Therefore, it requires an adjustment. Look what I'm going to do to adjust this particular mistake. This adjustment. Number 3, it goes like this way. Commissions paid, debit 150. Now we have allocated the commissions paid. But then do we have a received commissions or commissions received account? Commissions received. Okay, let me share the trial balance again. We have commissions received 300. My question is it correct? This value 300, is it correct? It is not. It is not correct. Because I have recorded this 300 after offsetting 150. That means I have to allocate another 150,000 to the received commissions. Therefore, look where I am going to credit it. I'm using commissions received credit 150. හරිද? දැන් බලන්න මම මේක දාන්න විදිය. Commissions paid, this account was not there in the trial balance, but we have that account. So record this 150 as an expense. I use commissions paid as a distribution cost. Commissions paid, distribution 150. This is the debit entry. And commissions received. බලන්න මම කරන දේ. හරිද? මෙයා expense එක. And remember, this is an income. So in the trial balance, we have already recognized 300 as the commissions received. By crediting it, we have to add this by 150. Therefore, Lamai, the correct value of the received commissions is puta 450,000. Now, this is going to be the relevant expense. So relevant income. Commissions received. Okay. So I record this 450 directly in the statement of profit or loss because me gana income in නැති හින්දා මම ඒක කෙලින්ම මෙතන දාගන්නවා 450 other income. Okay, 450 other income. I think everyone understands, right? Let's move to the next one. Information number 4. On 1st of October 2025, Puta, with the dates are given, it's very important. Those are the hard copies. And if you get the hard copies even later, highlight this date. On 1st October 2025, the business has rented an office premises paying 2 years rent at once. The total rent paid is recorded in the office rent account. So, in the trial balance as the office rent, we have a balance of 480. Let me explain the scenario. I'm using an Excel sheet once again to explain this particular adjustment. I think we have done with the accounting periodicity concept. So, what is the opening date of the accounting period under consideration? It is 1st April 2025. Am I correct? This is the opening date. And what is its closing date? මේ අපි කතා කරන period එකේ closing date එක කවද්ද? හරිද? It is මේ බලන්න 31st March 2026. This is the closing date. So, between this particular dates puta, we have 12 months. මාස 12ක් තමයි මෙතන cover කරන period එක. Okay? And then, do you see, we have started the rent agreement on, we have started the rent agreement on puta. The rent agreement was started on 1st of October. On the 1st of October 2025, we have started the rent agreement. And this is for 2 years. And we have already paid 480 as the rent for the first, the per period of 2 years. Although we have paid 480, can we recognize the total amount as, or the total payment as expense? Let me show you what we're supposed to do. Puta, once again, you have to consider the periodicity concept. That means we have to consider the period starting from 1st April 2025 and ends on 31st March 2025. Then, what you can expense is, expense period from, okay, 1st of October 2025 to 31st March 2026. This is the period where we can expense. From 1st of October to 31st of March, it is just 6 months. So this is the payment of the relevant amount rent of 6 months is what we can expense. මේ මාසෙ ඉඳලා මේතනට විතර අපිට expense කරන්න පුළුවන්. And don't forget, this is also resulting a prepaid expense. හරිද? prepaid expense එකක් වෙනවා. අපි නම් හොයාගමු කොහොමද මේක හොයන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා අහගන්න. දැන් පොඩක් උඹ නම් calculation එක බලන්න. 480 is the payment for 2 months, 2 years. Divide this by 2. This gives you the annual, right, rent. But you can't expense the annual either. You have to convert this into 6 months. What we supposed to do? බලගන්න මම කරන්නදී. හරිද? බලගන්න. 240 multiplied by 6 divided by 12. එහෙම නැත්නම් multiplied by 12 over 6 over 12. ඒ මාස 6 නේ ගන්නෙ. ඒතර පුතා අපේ expense එක වෙන්නේ 120. ඔන්න calculation එක. This is the expense. මේ තමයි පුතා මගේ expense එක. Then how much is the prepaid rent? ඒ කොහොමද හොයන්නේ? පුතම බලන්න. We have paid 480. Out of it 120 is expense. Therefore, how much is the prepayment? 360. This is the expense. I mean the prepaid expense. Understood? Now, this is the calculation. Let's move to the double entry. Double entry මම පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්න. The business have paid 480 and out of it 360 is the prepayment. So the adjustment is required for the prepayment. Look at this. ඔන්න බලන්න මම කරන දේ. Number 4. බලා ගන්න. Prepaid rent debit 360 and rent expense credit 360. This is the adjusting entry. I think you know that prepaid rent is an asset. Let's record this debit entry under the current assets. මම දාගන්න පුතා මේ 360 එක current assets වලට. I call it as the prepaid rent. It is 360. Prepaid rent 360. දැන් බලන්න ඊට පස්සේ කරන්න දේ. ඔය debit මම කියන පුතා හැම adjustment එකක්ම debit වෙනවා credit වෙනවා. Let's move to this one. What we supposed to do for this particular, right, rent expense? පුතා දැන් බලාගෙන කරන්න දේ. In the trial balance, we have rent paid 480 in the debit column. And we have credited 36. That means that should be deducted. Debit එකක් credit වුණොත් අඩු වෙනවා. එහෙනම් පුතා the relevant expense is 120. This is what I can recognize as the rent expense of the period. හරිද? මෙයා තමයි rent expense එක වෙන්නේ. I record 120 as the rent expense in this particular table. Rent paid, එහෙම නැත්නම් rent expense, administration 120. හරිද ළමයි? Again I am going to tell you, පුතා, this is very important because I know it is මම උගන්වන්නේ පොඩක් වෙනස් විදියකට. I'm not just tell you translate here, translate there. No. පුතා, this is a science. I am teaching you a science. And you have to learn that science according to the scientific way. එහෙම වුණොත් මම ආයි පාරක් මතක් කරනවා. පුතාගේ මේ subject එක ඇතුලේ future එක මාර ලේසි. Let's continue. පුතා, I'm moving to the fifth adjustment. මයිලා adjustment එකට එනවා. Look at this. Bank loan was obtained by the business on 1st July 2025. And the repayment of the loan is started on 2020. පුතම දෙවෙනි කොටසෙන් පටන් ගන්න. Why they have given this particular sentence saying that the loan is starting to be repaid on 2028? පුතා ඕන ලියා ගන්න. That idea represents the bank loan as at 31st March 2026 should be considered as a pure non-current liability because nothing is payable in favor of this bank loan in the next year. හරිද? ඔකපට මතක තියාගන්න. You have to record the bank loan under the non-current liabilities only according to this activity, this information. Let's move to the first part of the adjustment. It says the bank loan was obtained by the business on, highlight this date, 1st July 2025. 1st July 2025. Right. Again, in the trial balance, puta, do you see we have a balance of the bank loan? bank loan at 24%, 1 million. දැන් බලමු අපි. Let's calculate the relevant interest on the bank loan. ඔන්න මම දැන් හදන්න යන්නේ. හරිද? මේ බලන්න පුතා. It's very simple. Value of the loan is 1 million, 1,000. And its annual rate of interest is පුතේ 20%. ඒ කියන්නේ වැඩි කරන ප්‍රමාණය 0.2 වලින්. දැන් මට expense එක විදිහට එනවා, is it 24 නේද? Sorry, I forgot it. 24, sorry, 24%. 24%, sorry. Multiplied by 24. එතකොට මට interest එක දෙනවා පුතා මේ බලන්න. 1 million multiplied by 0.24, it is 240. But listen to me, this is annual interest. Okay, this is annual interest. But I can't use the annual interest as the relevant expense. Why? I have to consider the interest starting from July to March. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 9 months. So to consider the payment of 9 months or the interest for 9 months as the expense. හරිම ලේසි. 240 divided by 12 multiplied by 9. ඔය තමයි answer එක. Then how much is it? 180. Now this becomes the expense. This becomes the expense. ඔය තියෙන්නේ ආයි පාරක් මතක් කරනවා. This is the calculation. Now let's see what is the adjustment we need. පුතා, move to the trial balance please. Trial balance එකට පොඩ්ඩක් එන්න. මේ බලන්න පුතා trial balance එකේ තියෙනවා නේද? හරිද? Interest on bank loan කියලා figure එකක්. මේ බලන්න මෙතන තියෙනවානේ නේ? Interest on bank loan 100. Now what does it represent? මේ CA මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? What do you say by this 100? This is the interest paid. But can you remember what is the relevant expense? 180. හරිද? Relevant expense 180, the business has paid just 100. So what is the adjustment we need here? It is accrued interest on bank loan. And this is how it is adjusted. බලාගෙන මම කරන්නේ. Look at this. Adjustment number 5. මේ බලාගන්න. මෙහෙමයි යන්නේ පුතා. මෙහෙමයි යන්නේ. Interest on bank loan debit. Okay. Interest on bank loan debit 80. Then it is credited to accrued interest on bank loan 80. ඕක තමයි adjusting entry එක කියලා කියන්නේ. හරිද පුතා? මම එදා පාර පටන් ගන්න credit entry එකේ. හරිද? Because you know that accrued interest on bank loan is a liability. මේ 800 එනම් කෙලිම දාගන්න. Record it here as a current liability in the SOFP. මම මෙතන දාගන්නවා. මේ බලාගන්න පුතේ. Accrued interest on bank loan 80,000. I have recorded the credit entry first. Let's move to the අපි දැන් මේකට එමු debit entry එකට. පුතා, you told me that in the trial balance we have a balance of 100,000 in the debit column as the interest on bank loan. It was in the debit column. It is again debited by 80. This time what we supposed to do? ඔන්න දැන් එකතු කරනවා. 80ක් එකතු කරනවා. That makes the relevant interest of the period as 180. 180. Then may 180 දාගන්න පුතා. Record this 180 as an expense finance. Interest on bank loan 180. Do you understand? ඔන්න පුතේ මම මේ පැත්තේ ලස්සන්ට adjusting entries ඒවයි impact එක ඔක්කොම මම ඔයාලට කියලා දෙනවා. හරිද? Right. Let's move to the next additional information. අපි ළඟට එනවා. It is number 6. මේ බලන්න. 50% of the insurance account is relevant to the owner's personal vehicle. In the trial balance, how much is it given as insurance? It is 160. 160ක් තියෙනවා. Adjustments is out of this 160, 50% is relevant to the owner's personal vehicle. පුතා, ඒ කියන්නේ පුතේ, what is 50% of 160? 80,000. Out of that insurance, 50% of 80,000 is a drawing. ඒකනේ ඔය කියන්නේ. Look how the drawings is adjusted. මේ බලා ගන්න. Look at this. Drawings account debit. How much? 80. And credited to the insurance expense, 80,000. Why? This 80 is not an expense. මගේ පැහැදිලිද? ඒතර බලන්න මම කරන දේ. This 80,000 මම මේක ගන්නවා. හරිද? මේ 80,000 මම අරගෙන දාගන්නවා පුතා, right? This 80,000 is debited to the drawings account. Do you have a balance of drawings in the trial balance? No, no drawings. එනම තමන් කෙලින්ම දාගන්නවා. I record this 80,000. This 80,000 as the drawing of the period. Here I record it within a bracket minus 80. Drawings is deducted. Changes in equity statement. Okay. $80,000. හරිද? on a debit entry. And at the same time, මේ බලන්න පුතා, insurance expense. In the trial balance පුතේ, හොඳට බලන්න මම මේ කියන දේවල්. We have 160 as the insurance paid in the debit column. As a result of the adjustment, what we have done to that? Insurance expense is credited. ඒ කියන්නේ 160න් 80ක් අඩු වෙන්න නෙවෙයි නේද? එතකොට මට relevant expense එක එනවා. It is 80,000. This is the relevant expense. Relevant expense. So I record this 80 as an expense of the period. Administration 80. It is insurance. Now what does it mean? Although the business has paid 160, expense relevant to the business is just 80. The balance 80 is an owner's personal payment. And I told you, according to the business entity concept, we do not consider owner's personal expenses as expenses of the business. I think everyone understands, right? නියමයට යනවා වැඩි. හරිද? අපි මේ ළඟ adjustment එකට. Right? I'm moving to the next one. On 1st October 2025, business has purchased a new furniture valued 400,000. This is recorded in purchases account. Puta, highlight this date first. ඔය date එක highlight කරගන්න ඔක්කොටම කලින්. Now I have a question. What we can include in the purchases account, Puta? But always remember, in the purchases you can record only the right purchases of goods or purchase of tradable items. Remember that, because purchases is generally an expense account. But what have we purchased here? Furniture. You know that the furniture is an item of PP&E. We purchase the items of PP&E for the use in the business, not for the resale purpose. But this is an adjustment plus it's an error. What the business has done, they have recorded the purchase of furniture, purchases account. Puta, look what I have to do. Then බලන්න මම කරන දේ. Okay. This is the adjusting entry. Adjusting entry කියන්නේ මෙන්න මෙහෙමයි. හරිද? Number 7. Furniture account. Furniture account debit. How much? 400. හරිද? And credit the purchases account 400. ඔච්චරයි තියෙන්නේ. It is, right, debited to furniture account and credited to purchases account. මම මේක මුලින්ම purchase වලින් ඉවර කරලා ඉන්නම්. පුතා, in the trial balance how much I have given as purchases? Purchase බලන්න කීයක් තියෙන්නේ කියලා පුතා. මේ බලන්න. Purchase is the debit column 3,400. And it is credited. මේ බලන්න entry එක බලන්න දැන්. that is credited by 400. ඒ කියන්නේ පුතා, in the trial balance, we have the balance of purchase account as 3,400. I have credited it by 400. That means the relevant expense is 3,000. This is the relevant purchases expense of the period. Got it? Ehang, let's record this 3,000. Let's record this 3,000 as the expense. මම දාගන්න පුතාට purchases අපේ මේ working එක තියෙන cost of sales මේ තියෙන්නේ. මෙන්න මෙතන මම දාගන්නවා. It is no longer 3,400 but it is 3,000 purchases. ඔන්න ඒක හරි. Then at the same time I'm moving to this particular note of PP&E. There are 3 items of PP&E given. Office equipment, then we have furniture, and finally we have motor vehicles. Motor vehicles. පුතා පැහැදිලිද? Right. මම okay, cost. Then පුතේ, do you see හොඳට අහගන්න මම මේ කියන දේ, we have done an addition to motor vehicle. Sorry, addition to furniture. Sorry, furniture. මේ බලන්න පුතා. Do you see furniture account is debited? ඔන්න මම දැන් debit entry එක record කරන්න යන්නේ. ළමයි, listen to me. This 400 is an addition to furniture. So I record this 400 in the row of addition underneath the furniture 400. දැක්කද? පුතා මම මේකයි කිව්වේ. මම මේ පුතාට උගන්වන format එක පට්ට descriptive ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ වචනෙන් කියනවා. හැම information එකම included වෙනවා. If I teach you that what we have learned in O levels here, you will never see this information in financial statement. You will get the final result only. But now you can use it. Look what I'm going to do. බලන්න මම කරන දේ. හරිද? පුතා, now I'm going to record. දැන් උනේ adjustment එක ඉවරයි. Let's move to the next additional information. Items of PP&E are depreciated as follows. Office equipment 5% on straight line method, furniture 10% on straight line method, and පුතා highlight this one. ඔන්න අලුත් method එකක් ඇවිල්ලා තිනවා ඔයාට. Highlight this one. මේ motor vehicles 20% on reducing balance method. Highlight it. උඩ දෙක කරගන්න පුළුවන්. පැහැදිලි? Right. But before we calculate depreciation, we have to record the relevant items. දැන් මේ ගන්නේ කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. I have given the opening balances of the items of PP&E and opening balances of the accumulated depreciation on PP&E. So you can record all these things as the balances brought forward, because all these are opening balances. හරිද? So I'm going to move to the note. Note එකට යනවා පුතේ. Let's record the opening balance. Office equipment balance brought forward 2,000. hari row එකේ දාගන්න. Furniture BBF 1,800 and motor vehicles 1 million. These are the balances brought forward of the items of PP&E. Then as I have to update the accumulated depreciation too, I move to the trial balance once again. Accumulated depreciation on office equipment is 400, furniture is 360, and motor vehicles is 200. පුතා මම ආයි පාරක් කියනවා. If the trial balance includes the opening balances, you can directly record them as the balances brought forward. So I think everyone can understand what I'm doing now. Right. Let's depreciate. Okay. The office equipment. අපි office equipment depreciate කරන්නයි යන්නේ. පුතා, the rate of depreciation is 5% on straight line method. Puta, I'm going to show you how to calculate the depreciation on right office equipment. Where am I working? Depreciation on office equipment. This is very simple, Puta. This is very simple, right? This is very simple. Me balaganna. This is the opening balance of office equipment. It was available for use from the beginning of the period. So to depreciate the entire value of the BBF of the office equipment for the period. Therefore, it is calculated this way. මේ බලා ගන්න. මෙහෙමයි depreciation එක යන්නේ. හරිද? 2000 multiplied by, it is 5%. 5 divided by 100. ඒ කියන්නේ depreciation එක කියන්නේ මෙන්න මෙහෙමයි පුතා. 2000 multiplied by 0.5. It is 100. This is the relevant depreciation on office equipment. 100,000. 100,000. Okay, පැහැදිලිද? It is 5% of 2000. පුතේ, let's record it now. ඔන්න 8 එකේ පළවෙනි කොටස depreciation on office. This how we do it. Depreciation on office equipment lamai debit 100. The next is puta accumulated depreciation on office equipment credit 100. Credit 100. ඔය තමා adjusting entry. අර කරේ calculation එක. පුතේ, this one, this debit entry, I think you know the category of this. This is an expense. Record this 100,000 as an administration expenses in this table. Depreciation on office equipment 100. This is the debit entry. This is the debit entry. And look at the next one. මෙන්න මෙයාව දාන තැන බලන්න. Accumulated depreciation on office equipment 100 පුතා. ඔයාලට පේනවද මෙන්න මෙතන තියෙනවා depreciation for the period කියලා row එකක්. In the second section of the note, I record that 100 in this note. Let me explain. This is the debit and this is the credit. තේරුණාද පුතේ? This is the credit. And then let's depreciate furniture. Depreciation on furniture. Then පොඩ්ඩක් කල්පනා බලන්න. Do you know the reason? මේ බලන්න පුතා. Regarding the furniture, we have an opening balance. And don't forget, we have an addition too. Okay, let's understand. This BBF means this amount of furniture was there in the business in the beginning of the period. But can anyone remember when this was added? Adjustment equivalent පුතා. Adjustment says, මේ බලන්න පුතා, මම ආයෙ පාරක් adjustment එක පුතාට පෙන්නනවා. See, on 1st October 2025 only this 400,000 has been purchased. Therefore, we have to be very, very careful when we depreciate furniture for the current accounting period. Let me show you how to do it. හරිද? මම ඔන්න අපව working එකට එනවා. පුතේ, for this 1.8 million කිසි කතාවක් නැහැ. You can apply 10%. ඒ කියන්නේ 1,800 multiplied by 0.1, 180. This is the depreciation for the relevant to the furniture which was there in the business from the beginning of the period. Are we clear? And don't forget, we have acquired another set of furniture to which we apply the same rate. හරිද? එකම rate එක තමයි ගන්නෙ. එතන උත්තරයක් හදුවම මට උත්තරයක් එනවා පුතා 400 කියලා. 400 කියලා උත්තරයක් එනවා. Sorry, 40 කියලා උත්තරයක් එනවා. 40 කියලා උත්තරයක් එනවා. But I can't consider the total amount because this has to be worked only for 6 months. මම මොකක්ද කරන්නේ? 40,000 divided by 12 multiplied by 6. That gives me the expense worth 20,000. මම කියේ තේරුණාද? හොඳට තේරුණාද කියලා බලන්න. 1,800 is depreciated for the entire year. But this newly purchased furniture is depreciated only for 6 months. That gives me 20. Therefore, the relevant amount of depreciation on furniture is, right, it is 200,000. Now, this is what I have to record. හරිද ළමයි? දැන් බලන්න මේ කියන විදිය. මේ බලන්න ඩබල් එන්ට්‍රි කියන විදිය. හරිද? Depreciation on furniture, debit 200, Then accumulated depreciation on furniture, credit 200. Same double entry. ඒක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපි න රෙකෝඩ් කරමු. I think everybody knows what to do for this. This 200 is recognized as the expense. මොකද මෙයා මට expense එකක්. ඒතර පුතා මට අමතක වුණා. මෙයා මොකද්ද? මෙයා පුතේ මතක තියාගන්න this is a negative asset. හරිද? So I record this 200 as an expense. මම දා ගන්නවා මෙතනට පුතා. 200. Depreciation on furniture 200 expense ඔය තමයි debit entry එක පුතා and record this one credit entry මෙන්න මෙයාව දාගන්න අපි දන්නවා හැමෝම කොහෙටද යන්නේ කියලා පුතා this is recognized as the depreciation for the period හරිද මෙතනට දාගන්න 200 see how nicely the adjustment is completed නේද පැටියෝ and උන්න දැන් අලුත් එකකට එනවා ඒ තමයි පුතා depreciation on motor vehicles lamai I think I have highlighted this already right it is reducing balance method harida man ආපහු පාරක් white board එක චුට්ටක් ගන්නවා හරි right මම white board එක පොඩ්ඩක් ගන්නවා පොඩ බලන්න මේක හරිද right දැන් බලන්න this is how I'm going to calculate මුලින් මේක ලියලෙන්නම් depreciation on straight line method okay මම එක පොඩ්ඩක් ආපහු straight line method චුට්ටක් මේක බලන්න හරිද and this is how we do it මේ තමයි formula කියන්නේ මෙහෙමයි හරිද these are the formula goes right it is look at this මෙහෙමයි ඔක යන්නේ cost minus residual value divide by useful life or multiplied by the rate ඔක අරමත් එන්න පුළුවන් divide by the useful life කියලා එන්නත් පුළුවන් කිසි අවුලක් නැහැ හරිද ඔය තමයි පුතා straight line depreciation method එකේ formula එක cost minus residual value multiplied by the rate දැන් මම හදන ඊළඟ එක this is the calculation of depreciation under the reducing balance method ඔන්න ඊළඟ එක okay reducing balance method මෙන්න මෙතනදී depreciation ඔය විදිහට පොඩ්ඩක් බලා ගන්න and this is how we calculate depreciation on the reducing balance method පොඩ්ඩක් අහගන්න ඒකත් හරිද මේක පොඩ්ඩක් අහගන්න මේක තමයි මේ අලුතේ ඉගෙන ගන්න යන දේ excuse හරිද මේමයි යන්නේ it is cost minus මේක ලියා ගන්න රතු පෑනෙන් කොහේ හරි තැනක accumulated depreciation into the rate okay this is what we do ඔක ටක් ගාලා ලියාගෙන පුතා give me a minute I have to make a call පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න පුතා චුට්ටක් කොමින්න Have you written this පුතේ? Now බලාගන්න වෙනස. This is straight line method. This is reducing balance method. Okay, good. Let me share the let me share the right working. Then මම ඔන්න පුතා calculation of the motor vehicle depreciation. මම එක පොඩ්ඩක් රතු පෑනෙන් හදනවා පොඩ්ඩක් බලාගන්න. හරිද? This is how we calculate depreciation on motor vehicles on reducing balance method. Right? බලාගන්න. On motor vehicles. හරිද? බලාගන්න මම කරන්නේ. How much is the cost පුතා? Cost එක කීයද? Cost is 1 million. Am I correct? Cost is 1 million. And as at the beginning of the period, we have already depreciated 200,000. And that means 1 million minus 200 multiplied by 20%, 0.2. Cost minus accumulated depreciation into the rate 20% can 0.2. That means 800 multiplied by 0.2. The depreciation on motor vehicles for the period is 160. Calculation. Let's record it in the double entry system. Depreciation on motor vehicles. Debit 160 and credit the accumulated depreciation on motor vehicles 160. 160. Here we have the debit and here we have the credit. ඔන්න තියෙනවා credit එක. අපි මුලින් මේක දාගමු debit එක පුතා. ඒක වගේම තමයි කිසි අවුලක් නැහැ. Record it as an expense but be careful. It is motor vehicle, so we are probably using them for distribution purpose. So I record depreciation on motor vehicles 160 as a distribution category. It is the debit entry puta. And the same is recorded. This one, this 160, I record it as the depreciation for the period on motor vehicles 160. See how nicely the note is completed. Right. Then we make a BCD. BCD stick right. It is 2,000 office equipment, 2,200 furniture and 1,000 for motor vehicles. Then accumulated depreciation. Okay. Accumulated depreciation. Office equipment 500, furniture 560, motor vehicles 160. See, then the calculation of the net book value carrying amount. I told you net book value equals this BCD cost minus accumulated depreciation. For office equipment, it is 2,000 minus 500, 1,500. It is 1,160 for the furniture and 8 for the motor vehicles. And get the total of the net book values. It is 3,980 and ekagindaganna metana PP&E 3,980. That is property, plant and equipment carrying amount. Are we clear? Good. Give me a minute. It is 3,980. That is PP&E. Okay, great. So we have done with almost all adjustments except the last one. Let's move to the last additional information given. During the period, an inventory was caught by a fire and the loss has correctly recorded. On the balance point. during the period the inventory was caught by a fire and the loss has correctly recorded. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ loss එක දැනටම record වෙලා ඉවරයි. Check the trial balance. Do we have a balance of මේ බලන්න මේ තියෙන්නේ loss on damaged inventory 170. ළමයිට තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නයක් තමයි sir එතකොට මේ 170 record කරන්න ඕනේ නැද්ද ආපහු? ඕනේ නැහැ. Because it is in the trial balance. I told you this previously. ඔය trial balance එකට ඉන්නේ හොඳට කල්පනා කරන්න. This has been recorded in the prime entry. This has been classified in the ledger. Then only we get this particular account. So this 170 is recorded. And how is it recorded? Loss on damaged inventory debit 170, cost of sales or purchases credit 170. It is done. But adjustment says something else. However, 50% of this loss was approved for compensate by the insurance company. Adjustment එක තමයි පුතා to adjust the compensation on the loss on damaged inventory. How much is it covered? 50%. Out of 170, it compensates 50% by the insurance company. අපි යමු පුතා calculation එකට. Look at this. I'm going to do this as a calculation. මේ බලන්න පුතා. Right? Compensation. අපි හොයාගමු. මෙන්න මෙහෙම හොයාගමු. It is 170 multiplied by 50%. 0.5. ඒ කියන්නේ පුතා we can recover how much? 85,000. This is the compensation. මේ තමයි පුතා මම ආයි පාරක් කියනවා. Compensation approved by the insurance company. එහෙනම් දැන් loss එක කීයද? Adjusted loss එක කීයද එහෙනම්? It is right මේ බලාගෙන හොයන විදිය 170 වලින් පුතා 50% recover වෙනවනේ. එහෙනම් එයා අයින් වෙන්න උනා. Adjusted loss is 85. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Understood? Right. එහෙනම් පුතා අපි මේක adjust කරමු compensation receivable. දැන් බලාගන්න මේක තමයි හම්බ වෙලා නැහැනේ. Look at the double entry. Look at the adjusting entry. Number 9. මේ බලාගන්න. Compensation receivable. Debit 85. We recognize this as an asset. And as we recognize this as a compensation, that reduces my loss on damaged inventory by 85,000. 85. Are we clear? Enam puta, let's record it in the financial statements. Compensation receivable. Puta, I recognize this. Okay, I recognize this as a current asset. Mama dagan asupa metan dagannawa. Under the current assets, I record compensation receivable 85,000. 85,000. Understood? Then put this one loss on damaged inventory. දැන් බලන්න මේක කරන දේ. In the trial balance පුතා මේක අපි දාගත්තේ asset එකක් විදියට. හරිද? දැන් බලන්න මෙන්න දේ. In the trial balance we have a balance of 170 the debit column. Out now what we have done to that account, it is credited minus 85. Therefore the loss, original loss is now 85,000 and we had recognized this loss as the expense of the period. මම මෙන්න මේ 80 හදා ගන්නවා in the expenses table. මම ලියනවා එකට loss on damaged inventory. It is 85,000. Done with all the adjustments. පුතා මතක තියාගන්න මේ ගණ අනිවාර්යෙන් balance වෙනවා. හරිද? balance වෙන secret එක තමයි මෙන්න මේගොල්ලෝ. හරිද? මේ ටික තමයි පුතා වැදගත්ම වෙන්නේ. debit credit අඳුර ගන්න එක. Adjusting entries. Right? ගානක් balance කරන එක පුතා මහා ලොකු magic එකක් නෙමෙයි. I'm always telling you. But if you know the correct double entry මම වට එහෙමනේ උගන්වන්නේ මේ බලන්න. මේ කොච්චර double entries එකක් මම දිගන්නවද කියලා. And remember මේ double entries පුතා it can be different from one question to the other. දෙන විදියනොත් adjustment එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. හරිද? So it is very important for you to understand the double entry system first, then to recognize which double entry should be used. Right? Perfect. එහෙනම් පුතා let's finalize the accounts now. අපි යම් පුතේ trial balance එකට. There are some items which I have not taken out. පටන් ගමු මුලින්දලා. Sales 5,900. Record the sales here. 5,900. 5,900. Then commissions receipt, it was adjusted. Okay. Capital opening 2,000. Opening capital එක දාගන්න පුතා 2,000 in the changes in equity statement of Sunanda Traders. Okay. Then bank loan at 1 million. කිසි අවුලක් නැහැ පුතා. මොකද අපිට information කෙලින්ම දුන්නා. In this question you can record the bank loan directly as a non-current liability because we are starting to repay it from 2028. It's a non-current liability. Then we have recorded the accumulated depreciation fully used. Creditors 240, record creditors as a current liability. It is 240 creditors. Opening stock 300, move to the working of calculation of the cost of sales. Opening stock 300. Purchases recorded, loss on damage inventory recorded, administration salaries recorded, office rent recorded, electricity 170, record electricity as an administration expense puta, electricity 170, interest on bank loan 100, insurance recorded, office equipment, furniture, motor vehicles recorded, debtors 540, record the debtors here 540. හරිද? දැන් ඊළඟ එක බොහොම කල්පනාවෙන් බලන්න. මොකද දන්නවද? ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතයි අයියෝ සර් මේක මහ ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයිනේ කියලා. මහ ලොකු දෙයක් තමයි. මොකද දන්නවද? Cash balance. On which column I have given it? මම මේ cash balance එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ මොන column එකේද ළමයි? Did you see that before? පොඩි කරලා බලන්න. මේ cash balance එක පුතාට පේනවද? This cash balance is available in which column? Credit column. Highlight කරගන්න. If you record something in the credit column, I told you this when I was introducing the trial balance. Assets cannot be recorded. Positive assets should not be recorded in the credit column. එහෙනම් මේ cash balance එක මොන balance එකක්ද? Overdraft. හොඳට අහගන්න. Therefore, I record this 100,000 as a current liability. හොඳට අහගන්න එක. You can record the balance of cash as an asset if you get the balance in the debit column only. If the balance is a credit, it is always representing a current liability because this represents overdrawn balance. පොඩි දේවල් හොඳ. පුතා කොච්චර මේක මෙතන දාලා හදුවත් දාන balance වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරිද? Right. So I've done with all the adjustments පුතේ. Let's calculate the cost of sales quickly. Cost of sales අපි හොයාගමු. It is 3,000. Then 3,300. හරිද? 3,000 minus 500 is 2,800 lamai. This is your cost of sales. මේ තමයි පුතා cost of sales එක. Record 2,800 in the statement of profit or loss as the cost of sales minus 2,800. Therefore, the gross profit is puta 3,100. Other income 3,550. ඔය තමයි පුතා addition එක. Then get the total of expenses table. මම මේ මටක් ගාලා ගන්නවා since I'm using Excel, right? These are the totals. Check your answers, please. And if they are correct, we can translate the statement of profit or loss. Distribution 310. Administration 1,030. Finance 180. And other 155. Okay. Accordingly, the total is puta 1,675 minus 1,675. That results the net profit at 1,875. That is the net profit of the period, 1,875. This is a net profit. Lamai. Transfer the net profit here because that increases the equity. 1,875 is added. Let's simplify this statement and calculate the closing equity. It is 3,795. Now this is the closing equity. I can transfer it directly to the statement of financial position to represent the equity here. 3,795. Hari. Accordingly, the current liabilities total is 420. Get the total of these three. It is 5,215. Right. This is the right. Total of the equivalent liabilities at the end. Let's see whether we get the same answer here. Right. Current assets total is 1,435. It is exactly, sorry. Wait. So, do you see I have made a mistake here? Do you know what is it? I have considered this as 160. 200. This document division should be not 160, it should be 360. Therefore, this is 640. So, the PP&E should be 3,780. Sorry, this should be 3,780. Then Ganta balance now look at this. This is exactly 5,215. Right? This is the total assets of the period. දැක්කද? ඔන්න අපේ SOFP එක නම් පොඩ්ඩක් පොඩි කරලා පෙන්නනවා. ඔන්න අපේ සම්පූර්ණ ගාන. See? Statement of profit or loss and statement of financial position and changes in equity statement. හරිද? මම ආයි පාරක් කියනකොට මම මේක ආපහු පුතාලට මම උත්තරේ විදිහට එවන්නම්. හරිද? මේ බලන්න කොච්චර ලස්සනට හදන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා ගණන්. නේ? Adjusting interest එක බලන්න. So I will send you this my page එකම පුතාලට එවන්නම් group එකට after this session, right? And අපි පොඩි break එකක් ගමු. then මේ recording එක roughly නවත්තන්න හැබැයි group මම meet එක කොහොම on එකේ තියෙනවා. We are starting the paper class, right? තව විනාඩි 5කින් විතර පුතා පුළුවන් නම් format එකක් ඇඳගන්න. අපි paper එක මාත් එක්කම තනියම කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරි? So we are closing the session 4, right, temporarily, and we are starting the paper in 5 minutes. Okay? Thank you.